Okay, this session is all about introduction to OpenCV. Okay, wait a minute. Let me. Okay, now it will be comfortable function. Okay, this session is all about introduction to OpenCV. If you are a beginner to computer vision or if you want to start your journey towards computer vision, you all have come to the right place. So before let's get into the session, I want to give a short introduction about me. I'm Divyashree, an Alpha Microsoft Learn student ambassador, currently pursuing my second year bachelor's computer science degree in Velamol College of Engineering and Technology. So today's agenda is revisiting NumPy, revisiting pandas, introduction to computer vision, introduction to OpenCV, then you will see basic functions of OpenCV, and finally there's a live sketching using webcam. So before you want to know about before you get into know about computer vision and OpenCV, you have to know these two important libraries in Python. So for the first one is NumPy. So the NumPy is nothing but it is a numerical Python. NumPy is a Python library. So it is a Python library used for working with arrays. It also has functions for working in domain of linear algebra, Fourier transform, and matrices. So why we are using NumPy? So in Python, we have lists that serve the purpose of array, but they are also are slow to process. So in Python, we are having a function called list. So by using that list function, we can able to store the array. Array means you can store a list of numbers in an array. Same data type. You can store a list of same data type by using a list. So when you are working with a high amount of data, so high amount of number, the process will be takes slow. The list function will takes the process slow. So in that case, numpy aims to provide an array object that is up to 50x faster than the traditional Python list. So the numpy function will give you an answer. So whenever you're working with a big amount of array, the numpy will give you an answer 50x faster than the traditional Python list. So to install numpy in our program, so you have to use Visual Studio. You can use any of the terminal. It can be Visual Studio is an code terminal. By any code, any language can be used in this Visual Studio code. There are many text editors. You can use anything whichever you are comfortable with. I'm using Visual Studio Code in this session. There are a Sublime Editor, Atom. There are many things. So whichever you are comfortable, you can work with. So in this session, I will be using Visual Studio Code. So to install NumPy in our project, we have to install this NumPy in our program. So the command is pip install NumPy. You can use CMD, command prompt. So you can use command prompt to install like pip install NumPy, or you can directly use if you are using a code terminal, the Visual Studio Code, you can directly use a terminal below here. So you have to write pip install NumPy. So this command will install the NumPy. So since I have already installed it, it is showing that requirements already satisfied. So in order to import it in our program, so you have after installing NumPy, you can import the library using import NumPy or import NumPy as NP. So let's import it. So before that, we can save our file first. So let's save this as num.py. So if you save your file as numpy, numpy.py, it will throw you an error because it is inside another folder. So you have to save the file name as num.py or nup, any other name rather than numpy.py. So we can import our numpy here, import numpy. So it is also correct. You can also write this as .np. So this means that whenever you are calling this numpy, you can directly call this as np. So you don't have to write whenever you are using numpy, you don't have to write that. So you can write .np. You can directly call the numpy function library as np. So creating an array in NumPy. So we have seen that NumPy is all about purpose of array. So it is working with the used for working with arrays. So let's create an variable ARR and we will call the NumPy module, that is library np dot. There is a function called array. So array should always in a square bracket. So let's give it a 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you print this ARR, so first I'm importing. I have installed the NumPy, then I have imported NumPy as np, then I am calling the NumPy as np dot array. Array is a function. I am storing this a set of numbers in this variable ARR. Any doubts? If I'm going speed, you can say that you are going in chat box so that it will be clear for me. So now we are printing the ARR. It doesn't mean that ARR you have to give this as an ARR. It is a variable name. It can be A, B, C. It can be anything you can give here ARR. So if you print, what will be the output? The output will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's give create another array with an variable name ARR1, and let's call the NumPy function np. As NumPy we have mentioned as NumPy here np, right? So we are calling this np and we are creating another array. Let's give it as here as 5, 6, 7. So there are many functions in NumPy. So you can concatenate these two array by writing just one code. ARR to another variable name. So np dot, there's a function called concatenate. So there are many functions you can write add. You can easily add this to array, or you can easily multiply these two arrays. So let's just concatenate, for example, just given one example. So np dot concatenate means ARR comma ARR1. So we are concatenating these two array and we are storing it in an ARR2. So when you print this ARR2, so what will be the output? So concatenate is a function. Join a sequence of array along an existing array. So the output will be the concatenation of these two array. So whenever you are it is a single dimensional array. So when you're working with a multi-dimensional array, so your answer will be an 50x faster when compared to a list. So list is something nothing but list is equal to, we can give a list function, but the output will be comparatively slower when compared to NumPy. So in that case only we are using NumPy. So in Python we have lists that serve the purpose of NumPy. So sorry, purpose of array, but they are slow in the process. So lists are comparatively slower than NumPy. Okay. So the second module is pandas. So first module is NumPy and it is an Python library. So second library is pandas and it is an open source library. So pandas is an open source library that is made mainly for working with relational or labeled data. So relational or labeled data both easily and intuitively. Pandas is fast and it has high performance and productivity for users. So when you see on one example, you will clearly understand what is pandas. So let's just give key features of pandas. It is fast and efficient data frame object with default and customized index. It has a high performance merging and joining of data, time series functionality, group by data for aggregation and transformation. Sorry. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can just unmute yourself and you can answer. You can ask the question. Okay, let's install. So for installing pandas into our program file, we have to write this command pip install pandas, as well as you can use cmd. For this I'm using Visual Studio Code. So pip install pandas is the code. You have to write pip install pandas. This is the command for installing pandas library in our program. Okay, the requirement is satisfied and we have installed pandas. It is as much as easy. You can use Visual Studio Code for anything. You can use C, Python, Java, all you can use in one terminal. Let's create another file and save it as, since it's in pandas, just pan.py. So same here, save the file name as pandas.py. It will throw you an error. We have installed in our program. Let's see import. For importing, import pandas or import pandas as PD. It can be anything, PD or PD1 can be called as anything. Let's import in our file. Import pandas as PD. So we can call the pandas function by using this PD function itself. So now we are going to create a database using. So pandas is all about database. Now we are going to create a database using list function. So let's create a variable name as lst. Let's give a name. Let me give my name itself. It is an OpenCV. Just give 3 list. So now we are going to change this list into a data frame format. df is equal to df is a data frame. So it gets a short form as df. It's a variable name also. So PD, we are calling this pandas function. PD dot. There is a function called data frame. There's a function called data frame, and you are putting the list inside this data frame. The list is containing inside this LST variable, and we are putting this LST into a data frame format as a function, and we are storing it in the df. So if you print this df, the output will be in a data frame format. See, the index are automatically assigned. It is in the data frame format, right? So now if you read this, it will be clearly understand. It is fast and efficient data frame object with the default and customized indexing. So it gave us a customized index, right? So the answer will be as much as faster. So fast and efficient data frame. So high performance. So whenever you are working with a big data frame file, data file, so merging and joining of data will be in quickly. The answer will give the quick. So let's practice another one. So to read a CSV file using pandas and display the top 5 rows of data in the file. So we are going to read a CSV file, and in that file there will be thousands of data, and from that file we are going to just display the top 5 rows of data. Okay, let's create another file. So for this, we need an CSV file, right? So this CSV file contains thousands of data. So, and it is an unorganized form, it is not able to easily understand, right? So by using this pandas function, we can easily sort the data, and it is easily organized form. So just let's save this as an pan1.py. Now we are going to use pandas function. So in order to use pandas library, we have to import it in our program file first. So import pandas as PD. Then let's create a variable name. So we are having this CSV file, but in order to read the CSV file in this program, there is a function called, we are calling this PD, and there is a function called read CSV. So we are reading this CSV file by calling this pandas function. We are reading the CSV file and we are storing into the df. So if you directly give this read CSV, the compiler will not understand. So you have to give the path of the CSV file. So just copy the path of the file and give it over here. Then the question is, display the top 5 rows of the data. Here we are having thousands of data, but the question asked is to print this 5 data in an organized format by using pandas function. So let's create another variable as row, and we are calling, no, we are not calling this because the file is in the df variable. So we are just calling this df variable, and there's a function called head. So head, we are asked to return the first 5 rows, right? So this head function is return the first n number of rows. So if you give 10 or if you give 15, the first 15 rows will be organized format and the result will be unorganized. So if you print the row, the expected output will be, okay, it is throwing an error. So Unicode, Scape code can't decode. So this error is because this file is large enough, so it cannot be able to read. So just add R variable before it. So R variable is nothing but it is in raw. The file is reading the input as in the raw format. Then it is storing in the df. Then the df function we are calling this df variable and the head. So this head function will return the first five rows. So if you print this, yes, the output is in an organized format. So when you compare this file and when you see this output, it is totally different, right? So this in this case only the pandas functions are used. So that's all about, these are the two important things that you have to know before you have to know about OpenCV. So let's go into one computer vision. So computer vision is a cross-platform library, whereas here the NumPy is an Python library, and Pandas is an open source library. And now introduction to computer vision, whereas computer vision is an cross-platform library. So using which we can develop a real-time computer vision application. It mainly focuses on image processing, video capture, and analysis, including features like face detection. And this is where we are going to do today at the finally. So face detection and object detection. Application of the computer vision. So where are these computer visions are using? So in first one is robotics purpose. You can see in localization and navigation, in medicine purpose, in MRI and ultrasound, and industrial automation application, whereas in barcode and package label, in your supermarket you are seeing this barcode scanner, right? So it is comes under computer vision. Security application like fingerprint, face recognition, it also comes under computer vision. Transportation application like autonomous vehicle. So OpenCV. So basically OpenCV means open source computer vision. So that's the reason why the computer, I just gave an introduction about computer vision. So computer vision, open source computer vision is called as an OpenCV, and it is a machine learning software library. So name even suggests that OpenCV has played a major role in the field of computer vision. In the field of computer vision, OpenCV plays a very big important role. So the important aspect of OpenCV is that it's image processing library that can process images, videos, and even make use of webcams. So we can directly access the webcam by using this OpenCV to capture images and videos. So we just saw these two libraries like NumPy and Pandas. Then we saw introduction to computer vision. So, and we saw that how OpenCV plays a major role in computer vision. So let's install our OpenCV into our file. Let's create another file. Let's save it as. Let's save this file. OpenCV.py. Okay, let's. So to install to install OpenCV into our IDLE, we have to use these two commands. So where in Pandas and NumPy, we just directly installed it by using pip install pandas, pip install NumPy. But here we have to use these two commands: pip install OpenCV Python, pip install OpenCV contrib Python. So let's install here. Pip install. What is OpenCV? So this command will install the OpenCV Python. Then the second one is pip install OpenCV /contrib/Python. So this will install another requirements for using this OpenCV module. So now we have installed it in our program. So in order to import, the command is here import CV2. So you cannot directly import as import OpenCV. The command is import CV2. So only if you use this command, it will be imported in our program. So just write import CV2. So now we have installed the OpenCV and we have imported the OpenCV into our program. Now we are going to see basic operation with OpenCV. Now we are going to loading an image using OpenCV. By just using our OpenCV command, we are going to load an image. So let's have a variable name as image. So in order to load an image, we must have an image, right? So just create another file. And I'm having this image here. So we are having this ml.png. We are going to load this image by using our cv2 command. cv2 dot. So to load an image, there is a function called imread. So imread function will read the image. So it will read the image or video, whatever it is. So the function name is imread. So you have to give the what we have to give here. So we have to give here the path of the image. Just copy the path and you can give here. So here also I think the image will not be accepted. So you have to give R in raw format. This image is loaded as in raw format. So if you run the program, yeah, it doesn't throw me any error. So for this here we just loaded the image. We still didn't display the image. We just loaded the image and we stored in an img variable. So in order to print, okay, let's don't go for print. Next, what we are having next, image shape or resolution. So we are going to find out resolution of an image. So in order to find the resolution of an image, you can just call an image just in img variable we are loaded the image. So just call that img function and just give a dot and give shape. If you just print, it will give you an array with intensity of red, intensity of blue, intensity of green, RGB color. So it will gives you an resolution. So this is to find out the resolution of an image. You have to give you have to give the image and you have to give a shape function. So it will give you an resolution of an image. It gives you an resolution. So what is the? So we have to display the image. First we loaded the image, then we found out how the resolution will be. Just printed the resolution. Then we have to display the image. For displaying the image, there is a function called imShow. So imShow function will display your picture or display your image in the screen. So if you directly just give cv2.imShow, it will not show you. You have to give the image where it is stored. So the image is stored here. But imShow command will have another option called we can give the name. We can give the name for our image. It is an OpenCV. Just name your image as OpenCV. If you didn't give the name, it will throw you an error. So it is in syntax. imShow function should have the name of the image or should have the video. If it is an image, so the name of the image is OpenCV. So if you run the program, the output is displayed, but it is not stayed on the screen. I will show you again. Yeah, did you see that? it will run and it will display it on the screen, but it doesn't stay, it doesn't wait on the screen. So for this purpose, we are having a function called cv2.waitKey. So the K must be in capital letter. If you put it in small letter, it will again throw you an error. So cv2.waitKey and give it as a 0. So this function waits in the screen for minutes for this much milliseconds. For this much millisecond, it will wait on the screen. So if you run this, see now it is visible. So when you are clicking this close button only, it will close. So if you give 100 milliseconds. Now I am running. I am not closing that button. For the output will be, it is waiting for the screen for 100 milliseconds and then it is automatically closing. Let me show you for again 0. If you print it, it will stay on the screen for as much as longer until I click this close button. So another function to display the image, you have to write another one function called destroy all windows function. So this one, why we are giving this function is because it closes all the screen when you are it closes all the screen in the output page. So now if you run the program, so since the wait key is 0, it will wait until I click this close button. So by just giving this 3 lines of code, so this is not resolution, we know it. So by just giving this 4 lines of code, we just read an image and we just displayed it on even displayed the image. First we have imported, then we read a file in a raw format and we stored it in an image variable. Then to display it, so display the image, you have to write these 3. You have to write these 3 functions. So IAmShow function. This is a name of this image. So if you did not give this name, it will throw you an error. So just give the name of this image. If you run the program, see the name is displayed here, OpenCV. Let's give another name. OpenCV SS means the name is OpenCV SS. The name will be displayed on the top of the image. So the wait key, this function wait in the screen for this much millisecond. Then CV will destroy all the way, it closes all the screen. Then next is the resizing the image. Now if you display this this image size is small, we can increase the size by writing another code called, let's write here. You have to write the code before you are displaying the image, right? So here you have to write, let's call the variable name as resized image img. It can be any name, you can give any name. There is a function, so just call the cv2 library, then give cv2 dot the function called resize. There's a function called resize. So what you are going to resize? The image, the picture you are going to resize. So give the image name. So img comma 200 comma 200. 200 comma 200 is the height should be 200, the width should be 200. You can give any height whichever you are comfortable with it according to your image. So the resized image. So now if you display, it will not display the resized image. You have to give here the name as resized image. So then only your resized image will be displayed. IAmShow function, okay, resized image. Resize the image, OpenCV, cv2.waitKey waits and destroy all the window. Let's see. Okay, see 200 is this much small. Let's change the height and 250. If you display it takes some time, but this function is resize function it will resize the image. So 250 is here is height and 250 here it is an width. So let's see what is sin. So these are the basic operation. First we have installed it, then we just saw the resolution shape. We just saw the resolution, then we displayed the image, then we resized the image. Let's get into the live sketching using a webcam. Let's create another file and let's save it as CSV file. Sorry, live.py. Since it's a Python file, py. You have to save the Python file as .py. Live.py. Okay. Now let's open the terminal. Yeah, now the terminal is open. We have installed already NumPy and we have installed already Pandas. We have already installed CV function also. So now we can directly import it. So import CV2. Import CV2 function. Then you have to import NumPy function. So NumPy, you have to give the NumPy function as NP. Then we are going to capture the video. We are going to capture the video by accessing our webcam. So what will be the code? The code. So we are going to access our webcam and the video will be showed in a variable, and that variable name is called video capture. There can be any variable name. So I'm giving here it as in video capture. So how we are going to capture the video? So you have to call this CV2 computer vision, that is CV2 function, that is CV2 library, and there is a function called video capture. So that is easy. So you can just directly call the function as video capture and give it as 0. Not O, that is give a function as 0. So if you run the file, the output is not yet open because we just read the video and it is stored in the video capture file. Now let me run it. Yes. Now it is working. We just read the video capture file and we stored in the video capture. Now we are going to capture the video of the file by frame. We are going to capture having the video in that variable, but we are going to capture the video by frame. We are going to capturing the video by frame. So how we are going to capture the video frame by frame is just write an while function. So what is while function? If you are very basic to Python, so while function is a function. It allows you directly without having any condition. If you give you a condition, it will satisfy here, and only if the condition is true, this block of statement will be executed. Here, without I'm giving a condition, I'm giving a function is true. I'm saying that a compiler that you have to do a set of code without considering any condition. So while true function. Capture. So we are capturing the picture here. So picture capture. So this is a variable name. It can be any variable. So here the video capture. Here it is in picture capture. We are first reading it. So we are reading the video captured file. Dot read. So this function will read the captured video and it will be stored in the picture capture. And you have to write another variable called return. So this function will return you true or false, just for if the video is correct or not. So it will check it is in video or not. So it will return true or false. Then we are going to display the image. So you have to write IamShow function. We have seen in this file, right? So IamShow, and you have to give the name and you have to give the image or video in this file. So IamShow function, first we have to give the name. So it is a live video. Then give picture capture. So the picture capture file is the only where the video is in the frame by frame. So give it as a picture or let's make my sketch. Now we have read. In order to print the now in order to show our output in the screen, in order to wait our output in the screen, there is a function called wait key. So cv2 dot wait key. So here I am going to give another function called f wait key function of 1 equal to is equal to 13. So this means this 13 function is called as an enter key. Key 13. So in OCV.py, then the last program we saw that, so whenever I click the close button only, it will close up. So here, whenever I click the enter button, the video will be closed. So the key 13 is enter. So if CV2 function, if CV2.wait key is equal to 13, then we are breaking it, the break function. Then we are releasing all the video captured files. Dot release. We are releasing all the video that we have captured. Then as well as the final one is destroy all the windows. I will explain you once again. So first we imported CV2, then we imported NumPy as NPy. So we are, in order to capture the video, there is a function called cv2.video capture. This video capture function will capture the video and we are storing it in the video capture. So then we are here only the video is captured and stored in the video capture variable. Now we are going to capture the video by frame. So in order to get the video and in order to get the frame by frame function, we are writing this while block. So while true, we are allowing the compiler to enter into to execute this block of statement by giving the while true function. So picture capture. In picture capture is a variable. It can be any name. It doesn't mean picture capture you have to give. So picture capture, we are reading this video file and we are storing it in the picture capture and we are returning it as a true or false if it is a correct video or not. Then we are displaying it. cv2.imshow function with the name. You have to give the name. If you do not give the name, it will throw you an error. So then you are printing the picture capture. So when you give enter key, the wait key, so it will wait on the screen until you click the enter. So key 13 is called as an enter. Now if you print, yes, by just writing this 3 lines of code, so that's not 3 line, but if I click this close button, it will not close. So until I click this enter button, it will close. So this is this 13 is when I click the enter button only, the video will be closed. So if you have any doubt, you can ask silently. In the steps, if you have any doubts, you can directly ask. So it doesn't mean that you can only print the image in color that is color format. You can also print the video in black and white. Yeah, if you have any.
With that video capture feature, where only we are getting that webcam video, right?
Yeah, this video capture is a function. So if you call this video capture function, it will automatically access our webcam.
Okay.
It is only accessing and it is storing in the video capture variable.
Okay, we can also get videos from our computer, right? Installed in our computer.
Yeah, you can just you can read here. We just read our image here, right? You can import your video and you can give the video also. You
Okay.
can give the copy path and you have just if you paste the path of the video capture file, you can access the video that you stored in a computer.
Okay, this video capture can be used in CCTV cameras, like that cameras also, right?
Yeah, this OpenCV function is used in all the areas like like in camera, CCTV camera, barcode. In all the areas, the video that OpenCV functions are being used.
Oh, very nice. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So if any other doubts, you can directly ask in these lines of code. So we just imported, and then NumPy, this is the function. Video capture is a function. For image, what we just did, for image, where is an image? So for an image, we just read the image. So the function is called read. Read is a function. You are reading the function. But for video, you have the function is called video capture. So CV2, we are capturing the video and you are storing it in the video capture variable. So while true, you are allowing the compiler without checking any condition, just do these content below. So you are allowing just this is the true. So when you are giving while function, you will always write this. So while 5 is greater than or 6, 5 is greater than 6, do this content. You will be right. So here I am just giving true without any condition. Just execute this setup statement. So now we are going to print the captured video in a black and white format. So you have to write the code in IMShow. So IMShow is an we are displaying, right? So you have to write the code here. Now we are going to display our we are going to access our webcam and display our video in a black and white format. The name of the video is My Sketch, and we are going to write our code. So the code is CV2 dot. We are converting the color. So converting color is CV converting the color. So color, the function is called convert color. So just give convert color. Then you are giving. So where the image is being here, the picture capture. You have to give the picture capture. Name of the VCap frame. You have to give here. So picture capture, comma, color underscore BGR to gray. I think it is showing some error. I think you have to write a code like you are converting CV2.convert color, then you are giving a picture capture, and you have to write a, there will be a function called color. No, it is not working here, but in for you it will sure work. There's a function is called convert color. So color underscore BG2.gray. So this function will print your video in the black and white format. So just given in a single. So this here it is an RGB color only, but for me it is not showing, but it will show in your, if you execute in your file, it will show you. If you are having any doubts, you can ask.
Yeah, CVT color is you are saying as convert color, right? Function.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's showing.
I will show you the code. Sorry.
Okay.
So your video capture your. Let me try once. CV2 dot convert color. It's not showing. It will show here. CV2 dot.
CVT color. CV.
Yes, sir. CVT is and convert the CVT color, and you are opening it. So it will ask which in which the video is there. So you have to give the picture capture.
Okay.
Where our poll, we are here, it is right. So you have to give picture capture. Picture capture, and you have to give a comma, and you have to write convert. So which color you are converting? Will show you. If you write color underscore BG or to gray, it will show you. This is the code, but it is showing an error. So this is the code. Color underscore BG2 dot BG2 gray. So it will show you in a black and white form. So let me give an gist about what I have thought today. So first we installed NumPy. So whenever you are using, just use Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text Editor. Any programming language it will be supporting. So here I just used Python. It is totally Python. OpenCV is all about Python. If you know basics of Python, you can just start your computer vision journey. We just imported NumPy and we just included we just created two array and we just concatenate. So NumPy is all about array. So array is an set of your set of numbers. It can be in any data. It can be an same data type. If you are giving numbers, it should be all in numbers. If you are giving string, it should be all in string. So it is the same data types. So you are having two array and you are concatenating and you are printing it. Then we saw pandas, panda, and we imported as PD. We just created a list and we just printed it in a data, like it's in data frame format. It will give you an answer that quickly. So then we just imported an CV file, the read CSV. So if you call this PD like PD function and dot read CSV, CSV is a function name. You are reading it and you are storing it in a df variable. It can be any name. It can be any variable name. So row is equal to df dot head, and you are giving the, it will return the first n number of rows. Here we are giving 5 means it will return the 5 number of rows. And if you are printing it, the output will be in an organized format and it is easy to read. This is the case why the pandas are being used. Then we saw OpenCV, we just resized the image, then we loaded the image, then we saw how to print an image. This is the 3-line code. First I am show, you have to give the name of the image and you have to give the image where it is stored. Then we just use the wait key. Wait key is a function, waits in the screen for milliseconds. This much millisecond, not in a minute or not in a second. It is a millisecond. So if you give 0, it will print until I click the close button. So for here we saw that key 13, right? So for each key there will be a code. So for enter key it is in key 13. Okay, if you are having any doubt you can ask. If you want to reteach me or if you want to ask me anything, you can ask now. Or you can just ask in the comment box. If you have anything, you can ask me. So okay, I hope that I have cleared your doubts and now you have some clear knowledge about OpenCV and all other things.
Yeah, you have explained the basics well, sister. It's nice.
Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Where we can explore this, sister? OpenCV. In which website
So
we can?
you can search for a course. There will be many courses available for OpenCV where you can go for it.
Okay, from your Microsoft, I have student program. Have you got any programs or courses related to OpenCV?
Yeah, but if you selected in Microsoft Lens Student Ambassador program, you will be have credited with free LinkedIn course. There you will be credited as free course. You can get the course for free itself.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, sister. Okay, thanks for answering my questions.
Okay.